It's the morning DNA for December 13th, 2021. I am Aaron Dice, the man of single black shirt. She is Danae Hughes, the woman of a million distractions. We are now in our proper places and ready to see what today is made of. Welcome back after a couple weeks off. Well, actually 1 week off, but
Did I miss something?
No. We took 1 week off, but it makes for a 2-week period between shows. So that's what my brain was thinking. It's been a couple weeks. Which
somebody disturbed our.
Listen, I don't do that to you. I don't do that to you when you ask for a week off. Like, you know, you don't have to place blame on me.
You're right, but that just means you're better than I am.
I was in New York City, not as previously rumored by the internet's, just angry that everybody was putting open drinks by their computers, which, by the way, I don't think of myself as someone who's easily triggered, but it really does do something to me. Like those pictures, like I really do have like a visceral reaction to them, and it's not bad. Like it's not one of those things where like you don't have to feel bad for showing me those pictures. Like it's not a negative thing like that.
It's not like sending Danae shark pictures.
Correct.
For example.
That is the distinction I want to make. Like I think it's fun, but at the same time, when I see them, I do like my skin crawls. I'm just like, stop! Like, what are you doing? Like, I know you're being silly, but just one little accident and you just ruin hundreds of dollars worth of equipment.
Maybe even thousands of dollars.
It could be.
Yeah, I want to reiterate that is just the angle of the camera. I am holding this perfectly. I'm good. Mm-hmm. This is not me. This is me tilting it.
It's funny. That looks almost the same. That's really interesting.
This is me not.
Yeah. Cameras are interesting. Angles are weird.
Camera angles change things. They make us look. I love those where they do the circular light. So it's like a straight on shot of a person's face, and then they do the circular lighting and how much the shadows will change what someone looks like. Mm-hmm. I love that kind of stuff. It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, it is really interesting.
But I'm glad we're back.
Me too.
I love our show. It always feels strange to not connect with people. Yeah. Just a reminder that when we do have blips in our schedule, we usually tweet about it. So if you're on Twitter, you can follow Aaron and Danae, and that's where we post our updates. I didn't even retweet it this time. Usually I'm pretty good at that, but I have not been good at that lately because I'm a human being and I fail at things sometimes.
Yeah.
So...
I retweeted this one just because I thought it was
funny.
The whole computer thing was an interesting angle. Because seriously, like, you know, several of you posting on Twitter pictures just to troll me makes a guy feel loved, you know, just to troll little old me, just to troll me. My house is full of cookie smells, by the way. My wife has been baking Christmas cookies all weekend, so I don't know if that's wonderful or torture. I can't decide yet, like which.
It's both.
They're wonderful
it's wonderful
smells,
torture.
But I cannot eat them all. I had one of them, and I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough for today.
You should not eat them all.
No.
You could.
It's true. It is so true.
Not.
I absolutely could.
For those who are watching visually, usually Aaron is on one side of the screen and I'm on the other. We were in opposite spaces when the show started, which is why Aaron said that we were in our places. However, real Mikey Alexander says in animal care, male animals are always tagged or banded on the right side and female animals are on the left. So the screen was correct the first time. Just a reminder, we're not being tagged or banded today. So,
although because I'm charging my Whoop right now, it kind of looks like I'm tagged and banded. Like,
you're not kidding. It also looks like you're about to plug in and like charge up. That thing is so cool.
It's nice. I like it.
So cool.
I was working out this morning and was just able to just gauge my heart rate in real time and just kind of figured out, okay, when to push, when to, back down. And it's nice. It's nice having a little Whoop band.
Yeah, it's interesting to have a friend who has a Whoop and who is obsessed with numbers and statistics because conversations begin with things like, I had a 98% recovery rate while sleeping last night. Like conversations that would have never been like who would have that conversations before technology? It'd have been someone going like, I think I slept pretty well last night. And Aaron's like, let me pull out this chart and this graph and this pie thing and show you all of the ways that I'm getting really good rest.
3 nights in a row. 3 nights in a row, I'm in 90% plus recovery. That is a record for me. I am sleeping very, very well, apparently. So,
I wonder how poor mine would be.
Well,
it's got to be awful. I'm not getting a woo.
For the low, low price of $30 a month, you could find out.
So how much is the actual device that you wear?
You don't pay for the device. You pay $30 a month.
So, okay.
Yep. So, but there is a minimum contract so that you do end up at least covering the cost of the device.
Is it 7 years?
No, it's 6 months. It's 6 months. So like it's under $200 commitment. Yeah. Over time.
Oh no. Yeah. So Lolly says my dad just got a CPAP that does sleep readings and now he is also obsessed. I mean, it is interesting to have a machine or something, be able to gauge what you maybe are like things you're assuming about your sleep or assuming about yourself. I know mine would be crap. Like JCD also doesn't want to know.
Look at that green. 92%. Look at that. I'm sorry.
I don't know what that means, but congratulations.
Yeah. It's a combination of things. It means I'm sleeping
the
more.
sun is getting in my eyeballs. 1 sec.
Yeah, take care of it. So it's been nice for me. Hey, listen, if you're interested in doing Whoop, just let me know. I can get a referral. And that is how we...
Welcome to our MLM chat.
That's right. It's not an MLM. I just get a little referral.
While we're talking about it, let's talk about Juice Plus.
And Kachava.
Oh, no.
What if that is all the morning DNA turned into? Was you and I just like giving our rep codes for the different things that we're trying out?
Some people love that stuff, though. I find it hard to tell people what to do. I find it very difficult. That's why MLMs are so hard for me. Like I've taken Juice Plus for 4 years now, and I love it. Iris takes Juice Plus. Like we really enjoy it. We feel great about it. But like telling other people that they need to have fruits and vegetables in their life in this form is not easy for me to do.
Yeah.
So I'll regularly have, a representative contact me and say like, hey, you would be so great. Just give them a code. Just give them your website. They can go try this product, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just feel strange about it. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not an evangelist.
Well, I do think there's a difference between referral codes and MLMs, right? Like MLMs, like you have like dependent income on how many people you get underneath you that, stay subscribed. Like a referral code is just like if somebody tries the product that you're trying, you get like a one-time, $15 off or that kind of thing. So yeah, MLMs are a little spooky to me. They turn a little cultish, especially at the high levels. And yeah, it's wild. Definitely have been to some of those parties. For sure.
Oh yeah.
Real Mikey says Aaron's MLM would be getting his correct change at the juice place. Thank you. I think that's in reference to my protein shake, but yeah.
Let me tell you how I can help you get correct change. In 3 easy steps.
First thing is to sign up 5 other people underneath you to get correct change. That's the first step. Lolly coming in. Aaron, do you have a minute to talk about your essential oil needs? No.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't. Well, there you go. The only MLM we're dealing with here is the morning DNA. Feel free to invite as many people to watch as you want.
What does the MLM stand for us? The morning level monkey.
Yeah, it's multi-level marketing, which is what, that's what podcasts do.
What's our specialized one? What's our specialized
one? Morning laughs. Morning laughing monsters
machine.
Machines.
The morning laugh machine. That sounds like something from like a kid's cartoon.
Yeah. The morning laugh machine. You ready to shoot a dough?
Yes, I am, but something is falling. You know what? I'll just let it fall. I'll just let it fall.
Fall. Sometimes you just have to let things fall. That's how it goes. What We're going to do the D and A and U. We'll have a D topic, an A topic, and as many U topics as we can get to this morning. So let's start with the D topic. Danae, what do you want to chat about this Monday morning?
Well, I had an interesting experience with my friend Aaron and Ian, who you guys know from, I think our last episode was with Ian, wasn't it?
I think we had two episodes ago was with Ian, and then we had one, without him before we took the week off.
Our buddy Ian coming into town from the UK, and we had like a list of things we wanted to try to do together. And as our 3 weeks kind of was coming to a close, we realized we all wanted to go play pool together. And so the task became, where do you go play pool? Mm-hmm. And so we, on the fly, we're sort of trying to figure it out. I got onto like a little search thing and started reading reviews of different places. And I found I found a local place. Now, this is us going outside of our comfort zone. I think all three of us went outside of our comfort zone for this one. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being a lot of fun. But I was looking at the different, places you can go. You can go to a billiard pool hall, which was further across town. We could go here, we could go there. There's all these options, but one of them popped up and it was this bar called Grumpy's. And the only reason that I stayed on this review of it, was because of the comments about their billiards tables. It said 3 very important things. This is in this order. This is a dive bar. It's quiet, and there's always a pool table open. These are important things. Mm-hmm. So it's quiet. That kind of means that there's not going to be a ton of people. We didn't want to walk in to a place and have to scream over each other to talk, or, have that thing where there's just a whole bunch of people around, because we're all kind of homebodies in general, and also not bar goers at all.
Right.
So we pull up to this place, and they have essentially taken like floor to ceiling stickers and covered every window and door. They
have blacked the place out.
No way to see in. The only way to find out what Grumpy's looks like from the inside is to go inside. Mm-hmm. And then, you have the thing where you open the door and, everyone's going to turn and look at you. And we're all just kind of dealing with these various degrees of discomfort.
In the parking lot.
We're
before even getting out of the vehicle, we're all like, what are we doing? Are we all about to get murdered?
We're just not those people, right? That's just like, let's go to a bar and play pool. But we all wanted to play pool. It had been a long time since any of us did. And we kind of had the bug. And it's just like a fun thing to do. And so, we actually, at Aaron's insistence, decided to go in.
I was just like, I've had enough of this. We're going in. And I got out of the vehicle and everybody followed. So
it was incredibly outside of our comfort zone for a lot of reasons. And it was perfect. It was like the perfect spot. It was a dive bar.
Absolutely. I didn't realize those still existed like that. Of course they do. But it was like every movie scene I've ever seen in like the 80s, like the old bar where, somebody's bullying somebody else and then they, hit each other with pool sticks. And like, it was that kind of place. It was, dark and seedy and amazing.
It was, so the pool tables were all professional pool tables. They were really nice. Mm-hmm. All their pool cues were like the 2 or 3 that I picked up, and kind of they were all even. So
they weren't warped.
They cared about their pool tables, which is what we were there for. We weren't there to drink. We weren't there to like get on the jukebox. We weren't there to do anything else. We just wanted to play pool. And so
the people do at bars, whatever that may be.
But like the carpet had been repaired with duct tape in like 50 areas. So there's this entire strip. So wherever you walked, there was a 80 to 90% chance that you were going to be standing on a seam that was held together by black duct tape. Mm-hmm. The bathroom door
traps you in.
You got trapped.
You have to kick it open, basically.
My favorite part was when Ian disappeared for a while. We're like, I guess Ian really had to go to the bathroom. Super normal, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm, sure.
But then he comes out and he has a super awkward grin on his face, like he was trapped in the bathroom. And then Aaron went in later on and yeah, you had to like kick your way out. So anyway, they make good memories. It's a really fun story. And it just got me thinking, sometimes you really do go outside of your comfort zone and have like fun new memories. So I thought I'd ask you guys today when the last time was that you either went outside of your comfort zone or if you want to jump off of pool stories, whatever, or bar stories, for God's sakes. You guys always take these and run with them anyway.
No, I think it is a good lesson in going outside of your comfort zone and just knowing, okay. And sometimes, listen, when you go outside your comfort zone, sometimes the stories aren't great. Like that's part of the thing is there is a little bit of risk involved, but at the same time, it's kind of that risk reward kind of thing. And we definitely saw the reward of that going to this place and playing pool, which by the way, I think all of us, our pool skills kind of held up over the years fairly well. So,
I was very proud of myself at least 2 times.
I won like the first 4 games.
Aaron was the champ.
But Ian had the best run. Champ. Ian had the best run on that last game where he ran like 8 balls in a row. Like, yeah.
That was dumb.
So at that point, I'm like, oh, you've been letting me win. I see. You've been letting me win. But I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
He's very, very talented at the pool, although he has very strange rules, which is another story.
I will also say, technically, I won every game if you go by the actual rules of pool.
By the actual rules of pool.
Not by Ian rules, because he scratched on the 8 ball, which is a forfeit. But
just while we're bashing Ian, because he's not here to defend himself.
We're not bashing him. I said he had the best run of the night. He was incredible.
True. He comes up and he's like, we're gonna play American pool. Mm-hmm. So in the UK, he and his friends play pool the American way, which is not the American. Mm-hmm. It's not at all. So that was a really interesting kind of thing. He's like, this is the rules, and we're like,
those are not the
Americans are like. What are you talking about? It's like when a kid makes up stories about how to play, something like a board game or something, and they go to a friend's house. Like, that's not how we play, because the family just adapts to the, that's
I think
how
I was talking about this just a couple weeks ago with the way we play the game Shanghai. Like, we actually like have made this family version that is so different than the real game. And we actually tried to play the real game and enjoyed it. But yeah, that just happens over time.
Jetsmet says, I like a good dive bar, mostly because no one will judge you there. You're not wrong. I enjoyed the vibe of it. You walk in and it's just like, hey, welcome. What do you want? Da, 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 da. And there really wasn't a lot of, judgment. But there really weren't a lot of people there either, which was super nice.
Yeah.
We just got to kind of be, and we played
like 4 people, maybe 4 people hanging out there.
No, there's probably about 10 or 15.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. In our area, there was just a couple that kind of came over to where we were. Yeah. But yeah, what an interesting experience. I'm glad I went outside of my comfort zone, because I never walk into something that is described positively as a dive bar on the reviews. That's just not something I would normally jump in and do.
Hey, can I ask you something? Do you feel like there was definitely a everybody look at who's coming in fresh meat vibe when we walked in? Like, like new people, will they be regular? Like, I felt an immediate like, who are these people? Can we bring them into our community here? Like, which I totally get, but there was also an element of, I don't know, seediness to it that was a little weird for me. Not something I experience all the time. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my perception.
Did someone try to sell you drugs or something? Was it
not drugs. More a little like making eyes kind of thing. More a little like yeah. Did you not sense that at all? Like, I don't know. So maybe that's just my perception that bars are like a hookup place, and immediately somebody comes in and it's like, I wonder what they're here for.
Take me home tonight.
That's right. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, but I am completely clueless. So I totally admit that could be completely perception. So,
well, I don't know. I didn't get that vibe, but that's, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I think alcohol.
Because that's outside of my comfort zone.
Sure. Everything. When do you go to bars though, Aaron?
Okay, so great question. First time. The first time I've ever been to an actual bar like that ever in my entire life. The only bars I've ever been to were included in restaurants that I have gone to, like Red Lobster or whatever. That is the first time I've been to an actual bar or a hotel. Maybe I've walked into a hotel bar, but those are actually kind of usually restaurants too. But no, I've never. That's first time. First time. Genuinely believe that to be true. I could be wrong. Obviously, memory is weird.
Right. Yep,
But
yep.
yeah.
Nope. Yep. Well, it makes sense. I don't know. Maybe after watching bar scenes in movies and stuff, maybe there's that assumption that, people are trying to give you the eye. But to me, you never know until someone comes up and is more obvious about it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, totally. Right.
But I think that the idea that when you open the door and you walk in, people turn around and look at you, that's something that happens when you go into a restaurant or when you walk into a room at school. And
Yes.
people always turn and look.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just in a bar, I'm sure that's a different set of I'm looking than when you're going into the cafeteria, for example. Probably like, I wonder what this person's going to bring, because, there people that are there are probably locals, and it's like, are they going to be disruptive? Are they going to,
Yeah, totally.
what are they going to do here in this space? Like, we just want to walk in and play pool. So that was great.
And that's what we did. And
we did.
And we were welcome there for sure.
Real Mikey Alexander says, latest comfort zone challenge is going to friends giving dinner 2 years into a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of comfort zone challenges the last couple of years for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't think about the question that I was asking with the pandemic filter on it. I think because we've probably talked about pandemic changes enough that I didn't really think about that. But yeah, there's been a lot of those.
I mean, even conversational comfort zones, right? Like, having tough conversations with friends or family members about the pandemic or politics or whatever. Like, those comfort zones can be important to, wade into every once in a while too. Not all the time. Sometimes you have to know when to stay out of those conversations. But they are important conversations, especially with the people you love the most. It's important to, to have those deeper talks, I think. And so, that's another good time to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and talk about something that's, a little hard. Somebody you love disagrees with you on something. But it's not, it's not the end of the world to disagree. And those conversations are the only way the hearts change over time. So, yeah, I think it's important.
And JCD says, at some point, I'm going to try to get out of mine with a dating app. Other than that, I'm a coward. Dating apps, man.
JCD, looking at the dating app.
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun. Have boundaries.
Definitely. Yeah. Know your boundaries. Says the guy who the last time he went on a non-married date was, 25 years ago. So 26 years ago.
I have a friend who was using a dating app and then switched to a new one. Gosh, her stories.
I can't imagine, and I don't have to, but I can't. I just what a weird way to, find people. It could be an amazing way. I've heard great stories. I've heard horror stories. So yeah. Yep. Could be interesting. Let's see. What other comfort zone stories? I think meeting people is probably mine more often than not. And just, being willing to step out and meet somebody new and that kind of stuff, because that's not my instinct necessarily. Yeah. You were way out of my comfort zone when we met, being friends with a female. Yeah. It's totally out of my comfort zone.
What, me?
Yeah.
I just exist outside of comfort. Jet says college. I needed a 4th class for college, and so I took a class about theater. I have no interest in theater, but learned a lot about story structure and how when you put like a stage story together, you have to focus on the story, not the environment. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I think school would be a big one for me, just in general. If I were to go to college, that would be a really outside of my comfort zone experience, especially like that, taking a different class, something that's not what you are interested in. my issue when I had it, when you go from like high school and the expectation is that you then go to college, my problem is that I wasn't interested in anything. And so everything was a challenge, which is why I decided not to go at the time.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Sounds like there's more here, and no pressure to share anything you do not want to share, Tyler, but you did share this, and I want to say it because it has some good stuff in it. Tyler says, it's been really hard to look at babies since May. Thanksgiving weekend, I held a baby for the first time since May. I'm really glad I did. They are cute. So yeah, kind of stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that it's been hard to do for a while. So yeah, wanted to give some oxygen and space to that as well.
It's nice to just follow your instincts too. Sometimes it's just the right time, you know?
Yeah.
For me, it was like, okay, we want to play pool. Let's make this happen. You know, Ian's not going to be here for long. Let's do something fun. And then that's the inspiration for getting outside of your comfort zone. So
Definitely. Yep.
Here's another one from JCD. You know, thinking about it, getting my master's degree was in my comfort zone, but doing it online, I think wasn't, or opposite of that. But
one of those two probably wasn't, and one of them was. Do we want to guess?
I'm gonna guess doing it online. I'm gonna say master's degree was not in the comfort zone. Online was.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. But that's from my perspective. So, yes.
Love you guys too. Thanks to all of my my Twitch family. Breezy for your resub. I really appreciate it. And it's good to see you, Brandy. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Nice.
You ready to go to yours, Aaron?
Sure, we can go to mine. Guys, I don't know if you know this. Christmas is next week. It's not a week away, but it is the end of next week.
No.
That is blowing my mind.
Aaron, why did you say that? No, I've got so much to do.
I know. Listen, denial is never the solution, Danae. Denial is never the solution. Yeah, Christmas is the end of next week.
Oh, no. No.
So we've been doing some decorating, and Danae, I know your house is decorated as well. You guys have a giant new tree, which is awesome. But it just got me wondering, like, what's your favorite Christmas tree decoration? What that means something to you? Or it could just be... Okay, I'm changing my topic to, what is that thing that you've been putting off?
So outside of my comfort zone right now.
Do you have a favorite Christmas tree decoration or just a holiday decoration in general? Yes, so...
Oh, God.
I think the chat is full of everybody just being like, how dare you? And I'm like, I'm just stating facts. It's next week is Christmas. That is a fact.
I am in pain. The agony.
Chat.
Top Mrs. Mountain says decorating homemade ornaments that we make each year.
We did that when I was a kid. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Do you try to keep them all, or is it just like a once and done?
We keep ours. I still have ornaments from when I was like 2 or 3 years old, you know, from the 70s, late 70s. So, yeah, we definitely keep ours for sure.
JCD says favorite ornament has to be the ones gifted to me by my grandmother and aunt who are sadly not with us any longer.
Yeah, those are some important ones when you know it came from someone special. Yeah, who's moved on. Yeah, definitely.
Nick, this is so rad. Nick found a Kingdom Hearts Mickey Christmas ornament.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Danger Sweet says we got one this year. It's a transparent plastic bauble with a ribbon inside. We're meant to cut the ribbon to our kids' height. Then we can get it out each year and see how much they've grown. That's an interesting idea.
I'm not sure I'm following completely.
So it's like
I love the
it's
concept,
like a clear. I think if I understand, it's like a clear ornament that has a ribbon inside.
Yeah, we've got a couple of plastic bauble
take
ornaments.
The ribbon out. You cut it to the kid's length. You put the ribbon back in, so the ornament is the ribbon inside essentially. And then every year you take it out and you can see how much the kids have grown.
Yeah, but you can only do that once, right?
Well, I'm not saying that you cut it again. I'm saying that you can't. So suddenly it's like, oh, look, this ribbon is now only up to your knee because you're 50. Whatever.
I was trying to think of a way to make it consecutive, right? Like the idea being like somehow the
Maybe
ribbon
just add more ribbons every year.
grows. I don't know. Yeah.
I got you, Danger.
Yeah.
I see it.
So really, the ribbon is just the size of your baby their first Christmas. Is that right? Am I understanding that correctly?
The Christmas that you started. So like for Iris, if we did it this
Do
year,
you put a new ribbon in each year?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. You put what I would do is I would put in a little slip of paper that says still taller. Still taller 2022.
Have
still
not shrunk
taller
below my ribbon.
2000.
Going the correct way.
Doc says mine's kind of lame, but I have an 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trio. That's not lame.
That's not lame. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, those pop culture ones are really fun sometimes. Just kind of seeing, what you loved back in the day, that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Jet says a giant inflatable Mets home run apple on your tree.
Mets home run apple. I don't even know what that is, but congratulations on your home run apple.
What in the world? Lolly says we have a clay paw print from the year we got our dog. Oh, and have some I inherited from my late grandmother. Also the wooden star I bought the year that we got engaged.
We have a couple ornaments with our dogs of the past names on them that go on the tree. Yep.
I just want to let you know that I feel this great rumbling. My mother is in the chat. She has enough ornaments to fill 5 trees.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I know she's typing. We've got one. But she is the kind of person, I actually think I have a video of her. One of the trees, she has multiple. One of the trees is a rotating tree. And so I have this video where I'm just holding the camera still and mom is pointing it out and she's like, this one I got here, and this one is this history, and this one is this history, and this one. And I'm like, I woke up today. How do you remember all of these things that you've purchased?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. I need to actually write them down in some sort, because I'm going to get them someday. I'm going to get the ornament dump.
We have the years and the initials of on every ornament somewhere. Some of them are like sewn in. Some of them are like part of the craft. Some of them are written on with Sharpie. But yeah, if you look around the ornament, you'll see like 89, ARD, which means it was my ornament in 1989. Or,
sure, that's easy. But my mom is like next level. She's like, it was approximately 14 degrees outside when I came upon the star.
When I came upon the star that led me to your ornament. And lo and behold, the angels sang, "Oh, Mickey ornament."
It's incredible. It's amazing. I really, truly need to just take a picture of them, and then like put them in like a little book and then have her write down the history of all the ornaments, because that would be the only way that I'm going to remember. I don't know if Iris is going to be the kind of kid who wants to know the details of the history of this stuff, but they're like, "Oh, Mom, look at this ornament. It's so cool. What's the what? Tell me about this one." And I'll be like, "It appears to be made of plastic, probably crafted, designed by a human, crafted by a machine."
Nicely done.
I love you.
That's just how you finish everything. Just I love you. One that I often have talked about really, really loving is what I call Stretchy Santa. And Stretchy Santa I got in like the late 80s. So I would have been probably like 14, something like 13 or 14.
Is this like Stretch Armstrong, but Santa?
No. It's not. It's not. It's just that because my nickname was Stretch, and by the time I was 13 or 14, I was this tall. Like I haven't grown since I was 15. So I was 6'6" as like a 14-year-old, and people thought I was going to be, like 7'2" and playing in the NBA and all that kind of stuff. But they found a Santa that was like tall and like just like a really like tall, stretched out Santa. and they gave it to me, and I remember thinking that was the coolest thing. There was like stretchy Santa. I have no idea why, but it's like one of my favorite ornaments. And yeah, I got knocked off the tree about 3 years ago and broke in half. So
Oh no.
so that happens occasionally. But yeah, the other one I would mention is the floornament.
Oh yes.
We have
Let
a
us not
floornament.
forget the floornament. Go on.
Which is an ornament that's too heavy to hang on the tree. And so you just set it on the floor below the tree, and it's called a floornament. Just this giant, thing that won't hang on the tree. So it works out nicely.
Nick says, my favorite is a cute, stylized R2D2 3PO/3PO and my shuttlecraft that has a button where Spock says, shuttlecraft to Enterprise. Happy holidays. Live long and prosper. Does it still work? Or is it like over time it's going to be like, right.
Like Toy Story 4 with the drawstring and they have to replace. Yeah, it starts sounding demonic. Yeah, definitely.
Matt says, the sometimes strange ornament that we make each year that is supposed to encapsulate our summary of the previous year, and some are far stranger than others. I think that'd be difficult to do. We have started to try to do a ornament every year since Iris. And sometimes they're handcrafted, and you have to be careful about the size of those. It's just like, I was going to take Iris to go get some stuff painted. We have like a local pottery place where they have ornaments, but they're really huge. If we do that every year, I guess why not, right? I guess the answer is why not.
You've got a tree for it. We've got 4 kids and we did an ornament every year for each of them. You know what I mean? Like
there's room.
There's room. You can find room. Your tree starts to look really crazy, but yeah.
That's great. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
Tyler says, I have a stocking my grandmother handmade when I was a baby. I'm not allowed to have it yet because my mom still wants to hang it with my siblings, but it is pretty and is like a warm hug. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Real says, when I do decorate, I like simple blue and white lights strung together.
Nice.
Perfect.
Also, Danger Sweet says, I played the Mets home run apple in my school nativity.
I don't know
the things you don't know living outside of New York, I guess.
My favorite is Jet Spence is like, nice.
It's not so much that you played the Mets home run apple. It's that the Mets home run apple is in your school nativity. That is the humor here.
Like the shining star.
Yes.
It's just like this big apple.
Oh, good night.
Oh no!
Is that?
Wait.
It must be a reference to the Big Apple, right? It has to be.
My mother just posted she's not putting up a tree this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We
the
last 2 years
wrong.
we put up a small tree instead of a big tree. It's definitely been a little bit different, but it's okay. It's all right. Oh, we're calling.
Hello?
Are you
this is
okay,
important.
Mom?
No, but that's okay.
Do I need to come over and help you put up a tree?
No, Dad is still tearing down the fireplace and it gets really dusty and I don't want to dust a tree every day.
Okay.
Makes sense. That makes
All
sense.
right. What about a little mini tree?
Well, we might consider that in the family room where I can close the door.
Mom, you're scaring me. Okay, I just wanted to... Okay. Well, thanks for being honest about not being okay. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, I'm not okay, but I'll be okay.
Oh, okay, chat. Give Mom hugs.
Hugs
Love you all.
for Breezy.
I just hung up on my mother after checking in with her, so they kind of balance
They
out.
balance each other out, right? That's the DNA math right there.
Mm-hmm.
I checked in on you, but I also hung up on you. Yes.
Lolly says Mom has a real tree in the hall with elegant ornaments, a small artificial tree in the lounge with the childhood crap.
Yeah, it does. I think there's something really fun about that. Just all the crap that ends up on the tree. I think is kind of fun. So.
Apparently Juts has posted a link somewhere of this apple that we're supposed to find, and
Well, I'm sure I could Google it. I'm having more fun just imagining it. Yeah, for sure.
oh, Okay.
You ready to move on to you questions, Danae?
Yeah, let's do it.
You questions where you don't have to be reminded that Christmas is next week.
Oh, God. That is so insane to me.
Yeah.
Here's the portion of the show where you guys can ask us anything you want to. Just put a U in front of it so that we know that you're asking us a question. I saw one about Ian way earlier. I think that got buried. I don't know if it was a real question or not, but if you do want to ask a question about Ian, we can try to answer it unless I already did somehow. But I will go back and see if I can find that one.
Well, while you're looking for that, Lolly has a you question. How much unresolved resentment do you have to the girl at infant school who got to be Mary in the Nativity 2 years in a row, even though some of us got stuck in the angel chorus every year? No, just me? Yeah, Lolly, it sounds like you need to process some things.
Wow.
Some unresolved resentment for...
Just think about it. It's not all that great to be Mary. She was judged hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
People don't be talking about that, you know?
Yeah.
Angel's the way to be. Everybody loves angels. Mary, though, people question her a lot.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. I definitely had my share of Christmas play, part wanting. That is definitely a thing I remember, was like wanting a certain part in the Christmas play or nativity or whatever. Lolly, we know you would have been a great Mary. We're also sure you were a great angel.
We want to just everyone call her Mary, please, for the rest of the chat today. Please refer to Lolly as Mary.
Yeah, Mary Pop Shoes.
Mary Pop
which
Shoes.
is a little too close to Mary Poppins, probably.
No,
but,
it's great.
It works. It works. Jets Met says, you question, why the beard? It's a great question. I don't want it. I don't want the beard. That's why the beard. At the end of the day, it's incentive. I get to shave it when I lose a certain amount of weight, which has been going really well lately. I think I've got like 8 more pounds before I get to shave again. So I'm almost there.
This is the scruffiest I've ever seen you.
Yeah. I've thought about doing a little more trimming.
You should trim.
But
you should trim and see what happens. Have some fun in there.
I do, but
we should get you beard stuff.
Like beard
the
oil,
little conditioners and stuff like that. Yeah. And you can
no. The goal is to shave it,
or like a hair straightener, so that it's not curly. You can just kind of like go straight down.
It does curl up. I have one hair on the side of my mustache that every once in a while decides to go like out the other direction. It's just like hanging out here. I'm just like, back in place, buddy. Back in place.
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine. I found the question, and I already had it up on screen, but did not acknowledge it. The question was from a JCD who asks Ian, who is not here, how many packets of U.S. biscuits did he take home with him?
You do not want to take those on a plane. You do not want to take those biscuits on a plane because they will pop. So yes, Lolly
points it out.
Mary Pop Shoes.
Mary Pop Shoes says, "Do you know what happens with those getting pressurized?"
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like a sound. It's like a sound.
Let's see. Nick says, Aaron, with Encanto being top 2 in the box office for a 3rd week, do you think Disney jumped the gun announcing it for Disney Plus on Christmas Eve? Well, you can look at it a couple ways. If you're talking about financially for them, maybe. But I think the stats have been pretty interesting about stuff at the box office versus streaming. And I'm not sure streaming cannibalizes box office stats all that much if I'm looking at some of the things that have happened over the pandemic, which is interesting because I would have thought it would have cannibalized it more. So I'm not sure that's bad. On a philosophical standpoint, no, drop it as quick as possible is my opinion. In fact, I think everything should be day and date, but that's just me. So people will still go to the movies when they want to go to the movies, but it just makes it easier for people to see your stuff, be involved in your content, and long term, your streaming service is going to be where you're making most of your money. So, yeah.
Not technically a you question. This came from something we said earlier. Don't remember what, but JCD says ARD. Aaron has a middle name.
Indeed. Is that a surprise? We've talked about my middle. I mean, Varky, right? We've talked about Furfur and Varky.
The Furfur and Varky show.
And Varky comes from my initials, ARD, Aardvark. Varky, because that's how an 8-year-old gives himself a nickname. So, yes.
I missed this comment earlier, so I'm going to go back to it from Real Mike Alexander, who says, ornaments are like Magic the Gathering cards for Danae's mom. I love that.
It's true.
So much.
Yes, no, and the collectibles, definitely. Let's see. Danger Sweet says, best Christmas present you ever got. Boy, that's hard. That's a difficult one. Do you have one, Danae, that immediately comes to mind? Like best Christmas present ever? Like if I think of like my excitement level was when I was a kid getting Nintendo stuff. Like anytime there was a new Nintendo machine out when I was a kid, that was like best Christmas ever. Cabbage Patch Kids. Like I was right in the heart of that Cabbage Patch Kid thing, and definitely was really, really excited about my Cabbage Patch Kid. But that's just like excitement stuff. So I don't know about necessarily like actual best like Christmas present I ever got.
I have a really hard time remembering when people give me things, like when I receive them. Like a couple of years ago, my mom and dad got me a backpack that I really liked. I've been looking for something unique, and the funny thing about it is, like, I saw it at the store and my mom and dad went back for it like immediately and picked it up, and I just wasn't expecting it at all. So, but it's strange because I think what stands out for me the most is just, receiving something that you really, really, really wanted that you weren't expecting to get.
Yeah.
A lot of times gifts are just, when people see something and they're like, this reminds me of this person, and so I'm going to give it to this person. And that's what's meaningful to me is like, so-and-so is thinking of me when they got this item. It's not that the item means something. It's like the exchange that means something. So it's hard for me to recall like really big ones.
Yeah, I agree.
I think when I was younger, I don't remember if it was like a birthday or Christmas, but I remember getting my own phone number. I thought that was one of the coolest things ever because it was a huge sign of independence.
Nice.
I didn't have to coordinate with the family to call a friend. I had my own line into the house, and that was a really big deal. And I knew that it was a sacrifice for my parents to do that too. So I remember that one being a big deal too. I just don't remember if it was for Christmas or not.
Yeah. Let's see. Tyler with a good question. What's something you wish you knew about someone before they passed? I was volunteered to make a video for my wife's grandparents' funeral. I did not know just how cute and in love that they were. I love that kind of stuff. I actually video interviewed my grandpa before he passed and talked to him about growing up, and learned a lot of stuff, and was glad I did that. It's very easy to get so self-centered, right? Like on our own life and our own stories that, we forget just what a treasure every human who is, breathing and living, and all the stories they have to tell and the things that we could learn from them. And
oh, Aaron's getting emotional, Chad. Let's take a moment to send him some love. He can't talk because look at him sobbing. He's got emotions because he's not a robot.
I love my emotions. But yeah, I think it's really important to tell those stories. So yeah,
now
it was a meaningful moment. It was a meaningful
moment brought to you by emotion.
I love that we both play our roles in these moments where it's like Aaron gets emotional and Danae immediately sings to try to dissipate any kind of emotion. It works really, really well.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's just me processing emotions.
What about you, Danae? How would you answer that question?
Yeah, I agree with you. I have talked to people as they grow older, and I find it to be incredibly sad because, time is a fleeting thing. But I feel like there's really good advice that people have when they have so many years to look back on. And elders have a way of just simplifying things. I think, I remember being so incredibly emotional in my teens because emotion was still so raw. And I watch Iris and her emotions and how huge it is. It's like the most important thing is happening to her right now. And it's the fact that her candy bar, or rather her breakfast bar that she has broken too. And this is the worst thing that's ever happened in her life. And then like from my perspective, I'm like, oh, sweetheart, just wait until I tell you about taxes or something, you know, like,
Right.
And I feel like the older that we get, the more you can just take and help hone in on and focus in on what is actually important. And I think every time I talk to somebody who is an elder, they always seem to have similar advice, which is spend time with people, invest in people, and cling on to the people that love you, and like invest in people who actually love you. Like it seems to be about people more than it is about cool technology or the best car or there's just something about that being more meaningful at the end than anything else. So yeah, I think that's something, like when I think about people who passed away, I think I wonder, I wish that I would have known something about them. It's usually advice. It's usually something like a piece of wisdom that they would give. That's usually what it is for me.
Totally agree. 100%.
That or a secret that they decided never to tell anybody. Something really cool, like tell me something that nobody knows.
You know, you can make that up. You could just say, hey, you know what such and such told me before they passed? Just make something up. You could totally do that. People would not know.
Will you pop down to the end? There's some really interesting chat. Like I think there's something from Lolly that just popped up about her grandmother before I go on to the next question.
Absolutely. Lolly says, my other grandmother had a way to tell stories that sound really quiet. Then suddenly it's like, and that's where we found the unexploded bomb. They evacuated the whole street. I think it was Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. And then suddenly it's back to a totally normal story, like the bomb didn't happen. Yeah. That is fun.
Jets has another one in there. In my job, I wheelchair people around the airport, and one person has stuck with me. This 98-year-old woman flying alone to see her daughter for her birthday. Just amazing. Yeah, it's incredible. Or to think about things like, you know, traveling by themselves to Africa, you know, in like the 20s and just how different life was. You just hear these things. And when you put it into perspective, when you put it into context, you know, woman alone, you just kind of hear these brave stories that can really inspire. I wanted to bring this one up from Lucas, who says, I'm very sad to hear about one of the Syncast members leaving the team. We really haven't talked about this publicly yet. But yeah, it's a great, I think the question that I would take from this, or like what I would answer, is anytime things change, it's hard. And anytime a structure changes or a group changes and the dynamic changes, it can be really intense. And we have a very public job where a lot of people have been interacting with the team. And when that changes, we really understand that it's going to be a process for people. And I just wanted to kind of take this not as a question necessarily, but just say, like, I think one of the things I take from this is that, yeah, it's different and it's like emotional, and emotion is okay, says the robot.
It's true. It's true. Let's see. D. There's a D and an A question from Real Mikey. The D question is, what's a movie outside your comfort zone that you really liked?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember. Oh, these are so hard for me because I can't remember.
Yeah.
Let's say La La Land, that I haven't seen yet.
He's just predicting the future. I'm excited. I'm glad you think you're really going to like it. That's nice. That's nice.
I'm going to say anything on Aaron's list is probably one that I'm going to like, but I haven't seen yet. I don't even remember what the list is, but Aaron does keep a list for me.
I do. There's a spreadsheet of things Danae will love that she will never watch.
I don't know how many are on it now. Probably 20.
Yeah, that list was designed specifically for TV shows. I do not have a movie list, although I could make one if you want one.
Sure.
The A version of that question is, Aaron, what's a social situation outside your comfort zone that you ended up liking? And man, that is difficult to say. Social situation that I ended up liking. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I have this weird relationship with social situations. And what I mean by that is meeting people, right? Like being around groups of people. number one, I love performing. So there's a part of me that turns on, right? Like there's a part of me that gets to be gregarious, funny, silly, make jokes, whatever, and gets to hear people laugh. And that feeds my ego. It feeds like my personality, whatever it might be. That's not the greatest thing ever, but it is part of who I am, right? There's a secondary part that really wants to connect deeply with humans, like not just a, hey, how's the weather, surface kind of stuff that happens in social situations, but actually wants to sit down on a couch somewhere and say, tell me about your childhood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I have that
Let
part of
me
me that's,
sob and cry with you.
yes, let us talk about all the world's mysteries and philosophies. And it's like, Aaron, like you like both of those are you know, like they're the opposite ends of the spectrum. Can't you just go in the middle and just have a nice time hanging out with people you don't know? And the answer is I don't know, but it's really hard for me. So I walk away so tired. But with that in mind, I will say for our job, our previously mentioned job with CinemaSin, Sin Week has been one of those things where I've met a lot of people and I felt like I've been able to find that balance and really enjoy hanging out with people and getting to know them a little bit better, and not necessarily like the deepest parts of all of their humanness, but also not necessarily just performing and feeding my ego. So anyhow, yeah, that's probably a way too deep answer to that question, but welcome to who I am. So
here's one from JCD who asks, so what's your favorite food related item that you usually only get at the holidays? My aunt, well, technically my cousin, makes a cake every Christmas I have to not devour.
Yeah, I talked about the cookies that Jen makes. She makes like 8 or 9 different kinds of Christmas cookies. There's a shortbread cookie she makes that is insanely good. And when it comes out of the oven, it just melts in your mouth and I just want to eat it all. And it's just like, oh, I just have to not. So I just have to not. Yeah.
I'm going to say wassail, even though it's not eating, because we only make it during Christmas. In fact, I tried to sneak it into the Thanksgiving lineup, and Justin, my husband, was like, no. I've just started doing that in the last 4 years, I think. I've made wassail. It is so, so yummy. And I love it. I make a huge vat of it, and then we just drink off of it for the whole day. You go over to the stovetop and you take a ladle and you just straight from the stove. And you have to like put it through a whatever you call the thingy, the mesh, to make sure that you don't get like chunks of allspice and everything. It is so good.
The sifter.
Colander? The sifter? Yeah, whatever.
Something like that. You reminded me of eggnog shakes. Lots of places have eggnog shakes and they are so delicious. Andy's has an eggnog shake. Brahms has an eggnog shake. I know all the places, so I just, you know, I'll drive out of my way not to pass a Brahms this time of year, like, because I can't be drinking all those eggnog shakes. Jetsmet says craziest Aaron college story. I ask mostly because I know it's not going to be all that crazy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Well, it could be to some people.
Sure. There are actually many. The one I will tell now involves do you remember when Wendy's had the super bar? Do you remember this era? So Wendy's had this thing where they were like, we're going to put all this amazing stuff on our salad bar and people just come order the super bar. And it had like tortilla shells and refried beef. Like you can make tacos on it. And like, it was wild, and it was a buffet. Like Wendy, you don't remember this? This is a real thing. Google Wendy's Super. This was like the 90s,
Aaron,
right?
Yeah, you're setting the stage perfectly. Just waiting for your wild college story to start.
Shut up. I know you're right. You're absolutely right. So the Super Bar looks like it started in 88, and I know it went through at least the late 90s. So for a 10-year period there, they were doing this super. Shut up. I know it's. My wild college story involves a Wendy's. I'm so sorry. No,
like, John, not just a Wendy's. And now
the Super Bar.
Extinct.
The Super Bar at the Wendy's. This was my going to a bar. This is how I went to a bar. I went to Wendy's Super Bar, okay? Give me a break.
Guys, there's chips on it.
There are. tortilla chips. There were all sorts of things. The most amazing chocolate pudding I've ever had was on the Wendy's Super Bar.
It was just there.
It was just
Guys,
there. It
it
was all
was
there.
there.
You eat as much as you want. Anyhow, we went, a bunch of friends were traveling, and I think we were in Indiana at the time, and we're like, let's hit Wendy's and get the Super Bar. And I knew that for whatever reason that day, I was wearing gym shorts underneath my jeans.
Oh,
like
no.
I had So I was walking around the Super Bar and decided to let my jeans fall to my ankles as I was walking around the salad bar, and then pretend like I hadn't even noticed for, a little bit, and then just get all panicked and then run out of the store. And it was just this funny little improv kind of scene or whatever. That is the craziness that Aaron did in college. He dropped trow at a Wendy's Super Bar for the entertainment of his friends. So there you go. Congratulations. I feel like I should tell an Aaron college story every week now. I feel like this needs to be a repeating segment.
What a journey that was. The story is that you pretended to drop your pants.
Yes.
But the entire lead in, setting the stage was all Wendy's buffet.
Only because you acted like you'd never heard of it. That's the only reason. It was just a secondary thing.
I didn't
It was
act
just a
like
location.
I'd never heard of it. I had never heard of it.
I can't believe you don't know the Wendy's Super Bar. You are old enough to remember the Wendy's Super Bar.
Okay, let's talk about my age. Great. But then also, I don't care. Maybe, was it like a little over in your neck of the woods thing? I don't remember
think so.
this.
I think this was a national thing for sure.
Maybe we just never went to Wendy's.
I feel like I invented the "Sir, this is a Wendy's" meme that now happens, but I did not. So yeah, I feel like I should tell a college story every year.
What a story, guys.
Yeah.
We should end there, but we're going to go to Seth, who says, does Christmas stand out in the year for you guys? And if so, why do you think that is? If it does for us, I think it's because there's a lot to do. And it used to be, this is a growing up story. It used to be you just experienced gifts and decorations and food, and you just got to walk in, and now you have to make the magic happen. And so for me, Christmas is more of a dread. So how it stands out for me is it's like I am doing what I'm doing now, which is just pretending it's just going to come and go, and I'm not going to have to do anything about it. But turns out it's next week.
It is next week.
And I have a lot to do to prepare for that. So yeah, Christmas stands out to me because it's a pain in the butt.
I think it makes for, despite your religious connection to it, whatever that is, despite your faith connection to it or not, I think it makes the holiday season at the end of the year makes for a really nice time to just remember the better things about us. You know what I mean? The way we can love each other, the way we can reach out to each other, the ways we can help each other, give each other things. I think there's this real beautiful thing about ending the year that way that I love, that this kind of November, December, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that it's all, it all feels very positive to me. And I love that we end our year on a positive note. So yeah, I definitely feel it coming and enjoy it when it happens. I wish that we could, bottle that and have it all year round. And I think in some ways many people do, but yeah, I feel it. The Christmas spirit, it's a real thing. I really feel it, with people this time of year. So, but I also know it can be really painful for a lot of people too, who have lost people they love. There is definitely that, perspective thing to keep in mind. But yeah.
Lolly asks, what's a movie that you associate with Christmas but isn't actually a Christmas movie? In the UK, there is always a channel showing The Great Escape, and now it feels like a Christmas movie to me.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz, maybe. It's not a Christmas movie, but it's often playing around Christmas, and it's got kind of that, nostalgia feel to it. So that would be my answer, probably. Great Escape's a good answer, by the way. I like that one.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I know that you know that, and you still care about me. And I love you, Lolly. Here's a fun one. What's your favorite shape of sugar cookie cutouts? Mine's the Santa shape because Fatty likes the bigger cookies.
Come on, Nick. Come on.
Oh, man. I don't care what shape they are. The question is, what do you eat first? Like if it's a people-shaped one, like if it's like a little human gingerbread shape, do you go for the legs? Do you go for the head? That's the question.
My favorite shape is the shape with the least amount of exterior edge. So like gingerbread, like people shapes are bad. There's so many edges there. Not a real chance for the center to get nice and soft and gooey. So yeah, circle is probably going to be the answer for me. So ornament shaped, let's go with.
His is the taco shape from the Super Bar.
Yes, the Wendy's Super Bar. No backup in the chat, by the way. Nobody in the chat being like, oh yeah, I remember the Wendy's Super Bar.
You did. Nick said it.
Oh, okay.
Doc questioned it.
All right, fair enough.
But there's definitely one person that remembered.
That's all I need. I just need the one person. That's
all you need. That's right. You don't need validation. You have a memory.
No.
Whether it's real or not, we may never know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
We go live every Monday at 9 a.m. Central. And if we don't, we will tweet you about it. But we should be on a normal schedule, I think, for the rest of the year, which is only a couple weeks.
I think the next time we'll probably have off is after Christmas, like that Monday between Christmas and New Year's. I know I will be traveling.
Oh, that's right.
Then, so we probably now. Listen, we can do this from the road. Like as long as one of us is in front of a computer to launch it, the other one can be on their phone. So yeah. I'm with you.
It's so
I'm with
iffy
you.
though, because then the connection goes in and out. So we'll just be taking a week off at that point in time. But we'll of course see you again on the flip side. We have support from our fans on our Patreon, patreon.com/StudioDNA, where we have had people supporting the show for 6 years. And the content that Aaron and I have been creating, both for our podcast, Shoe the Dough, which you can go back and listen to a lot of stuff if you want to. We've been putting out. In fact, this show goes into the podcast feed. What you're watching now is kind of a evolution of Aaron and I's podcasting and radio days, all
season 6, baby,
for you guys. And we really love hanging out with you on Mondays and Sundays, and we hope you're having a wonderful time. Because of the way that the show has evolved, we now have people watching on Twitch. So I'm going to tell you guys what we're going to rate in for those of you guys who are on my Twitch channel while Aaron does a dance. JCD, thank you so much for the gifted sub to It Don't Connect. That's wonderful. Thank you. And Breezy, again, thank you for your gifted sub. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all your support. And I will be, now that I'm kind of back in my normal schedule, I will be Twitching again. I'll be streaming as maybe City Jean and Babs on my roleplay community. And then there's more fun stuff coming up soon after the new year. So I will be telling you guys all about that soon as well.
While she's looking, I will also say, Nick says, I have a memory where I was like 6 and some weird old guy dropped his pants while I was getting my taco. Scarred me for life.
Oh, no.
Weird old guy. I was in college at the time. Come on.
Oh, no. We're going to go see C Not Bush today. I know I have a very select people that I follow. I probably need to expand my follow group, but he's doing some really detailed work on a sculpture today that looks so cool. And I love his chill vibe. So we're going to be raiding into C Not today. You've watched C Not Bush, right?
I have. I love C Not Bush. If I were more into Twitch, I'm sure that's one I would have on in the background. I think it's great stuff.
Thank you for the necklace, Lev.
Yeah.
This is one of those kind of interesting chokers, and this is a tiger's eye piece. I don't know.
It looks like a candy corn with a crown.
It's my crowny corn.
Nice. Very nicely done. You portmanteaued that well.
I'm so funny. You guys have a wonderful week. Everybody jump in the raid for my Twitch. We're going to go watch C Not Bush. And thanks guys so much for all you do. We really appreciate you.
We'll catch you on the next Monday or someday. Bye.
Bye.